This short video is being put out to demonstrate write-offs, and if you know about write-offs, or you think you do, you should watch. If you know for sure, you should just skip. So for some reason throughout the internet, as people keep saying write-offs, 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 like it reduces taxes to zero. While it might reduce taxes to zero, it also reduces profits to zero. So if I make $1,000, and let's say this is all artificial, let's say I pay 20% taxes, that comes to $200. My income is 800. I take that home and I put that 800 in the bank. But let's say I buy a piece of machinery that's worth $100 from my business. So now I have the 1,000. I'm allowed to deduct that 100 off of that. Now my gross income is 900. I have to pay 20% tax on that. That comes to $180 instead of 200. But I only made $900 because I spent $100 on that piece of machinery. So I take 900, I subtract 180, and I get a total of 720. That's my net. Look up above. When I didn't spend money on the piece of machinery, it was 800. Look down below. When I did spend money on the machinery, it's 720. All the taxes did. Look how much taxes I paid down here, 180. Look how much taxes I paid up here, 20. All buying the machinery did was actually save me $20. But it saved me $20 off the 100 I spent. I still lose $80 in this process. I still don't make as much money. And that's how deductions and write-offs work. An item that you spend on that's legitimately for business, you get to reduce that off your gross, making your gross smaller, and thus you pay a smaller amount of taxes on your gross, but your net is still always going to go down when you buy that equipment. Now, a side note, a lot of you have employers that use contracts now instead of permanent employment to get around the labor laws. As a contractor, you are allowed to deduct anything that you must use for business. If you're driving, you can deduct a portion of your car called a capital cost allowance. It's over a 5-year process. I think you take about 20% value of the current value of your car, and you can subtract that off your taxes. Next year you do 20% again, but of course your car has gone down by value. And you do that over 5 years. Gas, you can deduct directly, all of it. So if you're spending $50 on gas and your paycheck was 1,000, you can now submit 950 as your income, but you must provide the gas receipt if they ask. Some of us must use cell phones for work. You can deduct not only the cost of the cell phone. If it's over a certain amount, you have to go for the capital cost allowance again, but you can deduct the full data service you pay for that you use for work. If, let's say, 50% of your phone is used for pleasure, you have to do a calculation of 50% of the cost, deduct for work. This is all legal and allowable. If you are asked to work in your home space at home, you may deduct the portion of your home devoted to work. For most of us, if we have a den or an office, this is roughly 25%. So that means your heat, electric, mortgage, or rent, everything, you take 25% of that, you deduct it from your gross. It's all legal. It's all allowable. Certain business clothes that you must purchase are deductible. Entertainment, you're allowed to deduct, I think, about 20% of your entertainment costs. I forget the percentage now. But if you take a client out for dinner or lunch or coffee, keep those receipts. If you go to a business meeting and you buy your own coffee, keep those receipts. Any item that's used for business, printing, ink, computer would be under the cost allowance, cost recovery allowance. I forget what it's called. It's a portion of the deduction of the cost of the computer every year. All those things are deducted off your gross and can reduce your taxes greatly. This is how you get away or counter the contracting process. If you are now a self-employed and you're asked to do your own deductions, etc., then you can do this. Now you have to pay into your own CPP, Canada Pension Plan, but you also get some other deductions there as well. So always learn how to do all your deductions.